Hi, I'm Ebony Love with Quilt Possible, back with Robbi Eklow in her studio on location, talking about her brand new Go Cutter. So in the first video we opened up the box, which was totally like Christmas. The second video we talked a little bit about marking the dies, and now I actually
marked this die already.
marked this die. And so Robbi, I noticed that you have actually built up quite a collection of dies already. What made you choose these dies?
Well, I'm having a die made. It's going to have my name on it.
Oh my God, you're like a new designer.
Yes.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
So I have to make this quilt, which I've not done before using the AccuQuilt. So while they're preparing my custom die that I couldn't show you even if we had it because I'd have to kill you first. Not you.
No,
well,
not
I
you.
would have
Well,
to kill you too.
okay.
But we couldn't put this on the internet. Anyway, so I ordered all the dies that I needed to go with the quilt. But you don't need all of these dies to make the quilt. I just wasn't sure if I should use this 8.5-inch square die. I've got the value die.
Okay, the value die.
I've got hexagons.
There's hexagons. You haven't marked all of them yet, but we're getting there. And then this is...
Is that the 4.5-inch strip?
Yes, this is the 4.5-inch strip cutter. So it's got 2 strips on the die. And so all of these dies, they also have different mats. So the different mats that go with them. So this is the big mat that goes with the strip cutter, and you've got some smaller mats here. You can, another question that I get all the time is, can you use different mats to cut with different size dies? So some people think, oh, it'd be really efficient if I got this big die or this big mat, and I used it on my value die. Well, when you're, and we'll show this when you're cutting, but this extra flap is actually in your way, and you can't hold on to the...
Oh, that makes sense.
You can't hold on to the die, so that's a little bit awkward. So if it's awkward on the die that's the same width, imagine if you were trying to cut with this one.
Yeah.
And you can't see the sides, and you can't see the edge.
But could you use a smaller die to not have to, like let's say you just wanted some, I don't know why, but let's say you wanted something that, and you wanted only this blade and that blade.
Yeah, you could. You could actually, and the reason for that is that the back part, the mat adds thickness to this as it's going through. So if there's no mat, you don't have enough thickness to cause that pressure in the rollers. So it is fine to use a smaller mat, or as you get along you might have little chunks that that you can keep that are pretty good. The strip mats in particular, because they're only getting cut kind of in straight lines, you can chop those up into smaller pieces and certainly use those. So it's fine to use a smaller mat as long as it covers the shape that you need. But it's just awkward. It's not that you can't use the bigger mats, it's just awkward to do that.
So you wouldn't particularly want to have one mat per die. Like, let's pretend that I wouldn't want to have a mat for this die and a different mat for that die.
No,
because it would always be cutting with this and it would fall apart.
Yeah, so you're always cutting them with this, and you just wear these out. They're gonna get beat up. They're gonna get cut up. These are considered consumable materials. So you buy the die once, you buy the cutter once, but you replace your mats. And it's analogous to when you're rotary cutting. You keep the mat, you keep the cutter itself, but you change the blade. So it's just a little bit, you still have consumables in rotary cutting, and you have consumables with the Go. It's just a little bit different.
Okay.
I also noticed...
This seems like this would be safer with children.
Yes, and a lot of people do use this with their kids. They'll pre-cut the fabric for the kids and hand it to them, and they'll just kind of crank through. I think kids really love to just crank.
They do, and grown men.
And grown men because of the toys, the toy aspect. I absolutely love this storage rack that you have. Where did you get this?
Oh, I got this this is a Crate and Barrel. This is it's a plate rack.
A plate rack.
And the reason I got 2 of these, they weren't for this. They were for something else, but I don't remember. At Crate and Barrel, they use these all the time to store, to like display stuff in the store. And I thought, oh, that's amazing. So when I found them, I bought them, and these were really, I want to say these were under $10.
That's awesome.
Otherwise, I wouldn't have bought 2.
Yeah, and AccuQuilt, they do sell storage racks. You could also go, I've seen people use pot lid the lid racks that you can get like at Sears or something like that, and they'll store that. But I love this look. This is actually pretty cool, and the dies fit perfectly, and they're angled just slightly back so you can actually see what you have, and you can store them with the label side up. So this is just really great. I love your ingenuity. I have to go shopping with you sometime.
You should, and actually, I could use it for my loom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's some.
So Robbi weaves too. So
No, I have a loom.
you have a loom. You
And I
haven't
have
started
yarn.
weaving yet.
I put it together.
Awesome.